For having a better understanding of what is Fitri, what can be considered as Fitri, in the book, few conditions are mentioned. Anything which has these conditions can be considered as Fitri. First, they should be something which are beyond animal life. So something that is shared by animals or is lower, then it's not called Fitri. Inshallah, in logic and philosophy, when they talk about different categories for being, you will study that, they will say that there are things that all material beings share. For example, the fact that we have 3 dimensions, we occupy time, space, this is shared. Even a stone, a piece of wood, they have this. Then we have certain things that we share with plants, with living beings. Okay, for example, the need for breathing, the need for food, nutrition, reproduction. This is what we share with all living beings. And in this aspect, we are all sharing vegetative life. Means here, it's not that we are vegetable. It means that we share with plants certain qualities. Okay? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran that Allah anbatakum min al-ardh nabatan. Anbatakum. Anbata, nabat, is used for plants. Means Allah created you and gave you life. Like a flower which comes from soil, Allah has also created us from soil. Anbatakum min al-ardh nabat. So, this is what we share with plants, animals. Then we come higher. There are things we share only with animals, not with vegetables, not with trees and flowers. And then it comes higher, then it's only exclusive. So it's a hierarchy. In the bottom, you have qualities that you share with everything, like having time and space, then having life and breathing, reproduction, nutrition. Then coming to the level of animals, which is to be able to respond to the stimuli coming from the environment, to be able to move voluntarily. And then we come to human beings, and that's where we have certain things that they don't have. Anyway, so the first condition is that Fitri refers to those things which are beyond the level of animals. Second, something which is Fitri, you don't need to acquire. You understand? So if there is something that you need to acquire, to obtain, to learn, to be taught, this is not Fitri. For example, driving is not Fitri, because we have to learn. Cooking is not Fitri. It's not against Fitra, but it's not Fitri. It means that it's something that we have to learn. Yeah? But for us, the desire for beauty, the desire for perfection, the desire for knowledge, we don't need to obtain. We don't need to be taught. How to do it, this is another issue. So, anything which is Fitri, for its realization, you don't need to be taught. Yes, education environment can have a role in making it earlier or later, in making it very active or hyperactive or passive. It's possible. It's similar to instincts. For example, the desire for the opposite, sex, the desire for sex, the desire for marital relation, this is not something that you need to be taught. This is not something that if someone doesn't tell you, you don't understand till end of your life. Okay? But depending on the environment, on the education, on the, movies that you watch, some people come to understand this in very early age. Some people may understand it later. Okay? But it's not that it is something that if they don't tell you, you don't understand, you don't feel anything yourself. Okay? The same is with fitra. Those things which are fitri, like desire for knowledge, desire for beauty, are there. But if you have a kind of setting, environment, that people love knowledge, people praise the people who are knowledgeable, people encourage you when you learn something, you see that fitri becomes very active. But if, for example, you live in a society in which there is no value for knowledge and everyone says, money is better than knowledge, so maybe that desire becomes passive. Inshallah, we will explain later. For example, with respect to God, if you live in a society that there are all atheists and they don't have any love for God, no knowledge of God, okay? So maybe you don't feel very clearly that yearning for God. But this doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It needs a good condition so that it emerges. Like, for example, if you are faced with very big danger, which is endangering your life, like traveling on a boat in the ocean, and you are almost sure that there is no way to be saved, nothing can help you, no one is there to help you, at that particular time, that all the conventional methods of help stop, you see that inside you there is still a hope that there is someone who loves me and has power to help me. So you ask God for help. But unfortunately, when you are saved and you reach the seashore, then you may forget. فَإِذَا رَكِبُوا فِي الْفُلْكِ دَعَوُوا اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ فَلَمَّا نَجَّاهُمْ إِلَى الْبَرِّ فَمِنْهُمْ مُقْتَصِدٌ. Some of them then remain in good condition, balanced. Some of them forget God. So, the things which are fitri should not be in need of being taught or obtained or acquired. The third condition is that those things which are fitri are universal. You find among all races, all cultures, in different places, different times, because they are related to our creation. So every human being should have them. Anyone who shares with you in humanity has them. The fourth condition is that those things which are fitri, every person should be able to go deep inside himself or herself and find them. For example, we have desire for truth. Every human being should be able to refer to himself or herself and find whether he or she feels this desire for truth or not. desire for honesty. Even the thieves, they love honesty. They love justice. Yeah. So if a few thieves make a robbery and then they want to divide, they would choose someone who is honest among them. Yeah, they don't choose someone who is dishonest. Dishonest is better, so we choose someone who is dishonest. Even someone who is a thief loves that his wife is honest with him. His children are honest with him. Okay? So these are the things that every person can go back to his heart or his conscience or his soul, whatever you call it, and find them. So you can experience it internally. The other condition is that they are very obvious and self-evident. You don't need to prove them. You don't need to argue about them. You don't need to debate. Just you need people to be able to reflect and experience it. Maybe they deny, but this is on the surface. If they really have chance to be left with themselves and dig into the deeper levels of their self, they will find it. Okay, now, after knowing what fitra means, what are the characteristics of the things which are fitri, now our claim is this. What we want to make argument for is this, that we have both fitri understanding of God, knowledge of God, and we have also fitri desire for God, yearning for God.